So let's go into a deep dive. Argentina 27, South Africa 29. South Africa win the Rugby Championship back to back. I've done my overall thoughts on the previous video, so do have a look at that, because at times South Africa were kind of playing themselves. Even though Argentina put some nice stuff together, it seemed dependent on how well South Africa were going to play, depending how the game was going to go. In the end, incredibly close is the answer, and straight away it was incredibly close, because Willemse leaves it very close as he's desperate for a kick to go dead and nearly lets Argentina ground it, which maybe is a bit of a premonition for the game, as it was a little bit like that. And after that hairy moment came another where Moody cops a yellow. It's a bit of a soft one, it doesn't look too bad, but he is upright, maybe a bit unlucky, but it's a penalty. Definitely yellow, I don't know, but it's definitely not the way they'd want to start, and Argentina make full advantage. Really good ruck speed from them, lovely ball movement. South Africa are scrambling all the time, either going backwards or sideways, and one final desperate jump from Colby isn't enough to prevent the overlap, and Delgi does really well to beat the cover to finish nicely. So what a start to the game. Like I said, exactly not what South Africa would want, exactly what Argentina would want. What they don't want is any scrums at all, because the scrums are complete destruction. The lucky thing for Argentina is they tend to be on the Argentinian ball, so they can get them out quite quickly. But the second of the Argentinian scrums gets completely pushed off their own ball, which is a really rare sight in international rugby. You see it in schoolboy rugby a lot, of course, but not in international. So that wasn't a good look. They did hold it at times, but the scrums were a massive issue, and only getting within 2 points despite not having any scrum is amazing really from Argentina. So that went 7-3 on 10 minutes. It's not often a tackle takes your breath away, but the powerful low tackle from Khaleesi on Carreras was amazing, giving Marks the jackal. And didn't Marks have a great game? I know they gave Reinach the man of the match, but could definitely have given it to Marks, because he's just such a good hooker and a jackler and a carrier, just continues to impress. But that was a great tackle from Khaleesi, and even though Moody did get carded for a high tackle, South Africa actually tackle lower than other teams. I've mentioned that before. But as normal, Argentina have come to play, not just play the percentages. A bit of heart in mouth times at stuff, but South Africa are a man down, so it's worth trying to work the overlap, and they do. Really good handling. Goes to Delgi, panic stations completely until Oxenshea gets momentum back with a shuddering tackle on Kremer. That was impressive. But Argentina at least are camped in the 22, and they settle for an easy 3-pointer. So 10-3 to Argentina after 15 minutes. So after that exciting start, Moody is back on, and I'm just thinking, right, South Africa just need to settle. And it looks like maybe they'll get back on the front foot when Sasha Feinberg Mngomezulu makes an amazing counter-attack off a kick, and he is the best running 10 I've seen in world rugby at the moment. But again, just too much from South Africa. Even their experienced players were doing it. This time Malcolm Marks tipping the ball onto Argentina player. I was just saying he should be man of the match, but that wasn't a great one there, as they're just forcing it. They're all just forcing it, as they know they can win this championship. They know they're good enough to do it, but they're just not building those phases. Reinach again goes for something amazing, nearly pulling off a miracle interception. Another massive scrum from South Africa, but Argentina are surviving. And the theme just continues. Another amazing counter-attack from a kick, this time from Damian Willemse. I mean, those two, Mngomezulu and Willemse, are amazing attackers, great runners. But then a poor high ball from Mngomezulu means South Africa blow another chance just to build pressure, and they just don't stay in that area for long enough. And if you give Argentina possession, they're a quality team. They control their phases perfectly. They're not overdoing it, and they build another nice team attack into the 22, and South Africa too keen again, rushing up, gifting Argentina another 3 points, 13-3. And last week, the high bombs from Mngomezulu were causing absolute havoc. This week, they're going a bit too long, and it's turning into a real problem for South Africa, actually. Going for too much again on 28 minutes. Moody goes for the interception. It's close, but he's on a yellow card. If he gets another yellow card, that's a red. I'm sure the ref would have thought about it. If it was a different area of the pitch preventing a try, it would have to be a red. But he gets away with just a penalty. But that's what I mean. The senior players need to settle them down and say, what are you doing? You just need to calm down. We don't need to go for too much. I don't know if that happened or not. If you're at the game, did those captains, did those leaders come over to the younger players and say, calm it down or not. On the half hour, I'm just about to write that they've forced it again. Moody trying to force an offload, but they get a penalty. It saves them. Argentina defend for their lives, but a second penalty, and South Africa just call as many scrums as they can. I mean, they might as well. It is the right call, and that's exactly what they do as they keep on scrummaging. The third one's complete destruction, and Reinach scampers over. Nicely taken try, but a massive scrum to set it up. 13-10, South Africa finally get back into this game. So after half-time, Argentina, well, they give one back. Vivas catches Etzebeth in the head. It's a yellow. Again, I think a little unlucky because I think he was kind of redirected into Vivas, but still they take advantage of that. And a good maul. Mark spins away for a strong finish. So it's 13-15, South Africa in the lead. So I'm just writing at this point, after a stuttering first half, it feels like South Africa are going to take control. But then, ironically, Vivas is replaced by a prop of Wegner, and Argentina have their most solid scrum of the day. Norkia gets himself in a right pickle at the ruck. He probably should be guarding the ruck, but he drifts out and no one fills in. So Cruz, the scrum half, just goes straight through. They do some good lines. Kremer smashing up, but then Sekiro Petit's just a bit slow to clear, and Marks to the rescue again with a great jackal. On 50 minutes, it's kind of more of the same. South Africa just struggling to build possession. A slice kick from Mngomezulu doesn't help. Visa nearly gets 2 interceptions, but not quite. And it's just, just getting a little bit hairy. But then in the scrum, normal service is resumed. Sub Wilco low. Instant destruction in the scrum. Vessels is on as well, as Argentina for once can't get the ball quick enough out of their own scrum, and the penalty takes them 5 metres out. Simple round the corner carries, as you might as well do. Visa smashing, Sneijman smashing up to soften up the defence, and Reinach once again a good snipe to score. And finally they've got a bit of breathing space, 13-22, and you're thinking, yeah, this is how it's going to be. Vessels and Low absolutely smashing the scrum, and you can see South Africa playing with confidence. They're starting to get that belief. A lovely chip from Diolande to Creel, showing the old boys have still got it. Gets them in Argentina 22. The line out is a bit messy, but Marks wins it back very sharp there. Then a few phases later, it's he who crashes over, targeting the scrum half Cruz, who probably shouldn't be defending the ruck that close. And 13-29, you think it's all over. Then, just a bit silly again. Feinberg Mngomezulu goes for a drop goal, and one of the worst you've ever seen. He's kind of falling back. It never gets off the ground. He does seem prone to rushes in there. But the silly to see. But the rash execution is catching as Colby goes for it, as he compounds that error with a horror long pass that bounces. It goes to no one. Delgi does great to swoop, knock it up and score a second try. So it's actually only 9 points in it. 20-29, and South Africa are absolutely their own worst enemy. Feinberg Mngomezulu takes his eye off the ball and nearly gives Argentina another try, and wisely he's hooked off at that point for the slightly more experienced Libok to see the game out, which they do just about. But like I said, it's catching. Are they panicking a bit? I don't know. Mbanambi just cutting across Delgi. No need for it. It's a block penalty. Gives Argentina a line out on the 22. Manny Libok smashing up the high kicks, which worked last week, but Delgi and Isgro are dealing with that fantastically. But Quagga-Smith saves the day, and South Africa just hanging on a little bit. And then, what do you know, on 75 minutes, the first penalty for Argentina in the scrum. Boy, do they celebrate, but the time is ticking away. But a late tackle from Vessels. Oh man, he gave away some penalties there. Argentina need 3 points to put them within range, but they hit the post. But Gonzalez honours a sub. Very fresh, follows up very quickly, wins it back, and it's a perfect crossfield kick from Santi Carreras to Isgro for a beautiful try. So 27-29. But there's no time left, and South Africa win the Rugby Championship. Now, I hope I'm not sounding too down on South Africa here. I'm just saying what happened in the game. South Africa, so much talent. They did some great stuff there. The scrummaging was amazing. Some of the counter-attacking was amazing. But boy, did they make some bad decisions and some errors, and Argentina capitalised, but not quite good enough. 27-29. Those are my thoughts. If you like these sorts of videos, do subscribe. But that would be awesome if you haven't already. Like, why not? And I'll catch you next time.